Every night before bed, we hope our body gets the rest it needs. We want our muscles to recover, and by morning, we want to feel steady, strong, and ready to move. But as many of us know, that's not always how things turn out. Some mornings, it feels like our legs are weaker. We get up more slowly. Even a simple climb up the stairs seems harder than it should. What's surprising is this change isn't always about age or not exercising enough. Sometimes, it comes down to a very small mistake, something we repeat night after night without realizing it. A quiet habit that may be slowly draining our muscle strength while we sleep. So today, we're going to take a closer look at this habit. It might be directly affecting how easily we walk, stand, and move each day. The good news is the fix is simple. Once we understand what's really going on, it becomes easy to change. If this topic sounds helpful, go ahead and tap the like button. Share this with your loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more practical health tips coming your way. Now let's dive in. The habit we're talking about is skipping dinner. Let's picture a very familiar scene, one that might sound close to home. It's late afternoon. After watering the plants or taking a walk around the yard, an older man sits down to rest. He's not all that hungry that night. He just makes a small sandwich, adds a few slices of fruit, and heads to bed early. He figures this light meal will be easier to digest, help him sleep better, and maybe even keep the weight off. At first, he felt fine. Sleep seems smoother. But after a few weeks, something starts to change. His legs feel more tired. The stairs are harder, and every morning, he wakes up feeling like the energy has been drained right out of his legs. If that sounds familiar, it might be time to take another look at what we're eating at night. It's not that eating less is always bad. It's that when we miss out on key nutrients during the hours when our body is doing its most important repairs, it can lead to real trouble, especially for muscle health as we get older. One of the first things we need to understand is that our muscles don't stop working just because we're sleeping. During the night, the body is busy repairing tiny tears in the muscles damage that naturally builds up from regular activity like walking, gardening, even just staying balanced while we move. This repair process uses up energy, and it needs the right building blocks, especially protein and essential amino acids. If we don't give the body enough of those building blocks at dinner, especially high-quality protein, it simply can't complete the job. The repair process stalls, and over time, we start to lose muscle, even if we've done everything right during the day. Something else that often gets overlooked is that our body still uses up energy while we sleep. Even though we're not moving, our organs are still running, and if there's no fuel available, the body may start breaking down muscle tissue to keep things going. That process is called muscle catabolism. And the older we get, the faster it happens. One 2022 study published in Clinical Nutrition followed older adults who ate very little protein at dinner compared to those who had a proper, protein-rich meal. After just 12 weeks, the low-protein group had lost more muscle mass and showed noticeable declines in balance and mobility. That's something worth paying attention to as we think about our evening habits. When someone sticks to a light dinner pattern, the body also starts running low on leucine. That's a special amino acid that plays a key role in triggering muscle growth. And leucine isn't something our body can make on its own. It has to come from food, especially protein-rich sources like eggs, fish, or dairy. So even if we eat well during the day, skipping or skimping on dinner robs us of a crucial chance to keep our muscles intact. Over time, this can lead to weaker legs, more fatigue, and even a higher risk of falls, even in someone who otherwise feels healthy. Here's another interesting piece of the puzzle. Growth hormone is the one that helps rebuild muscle peaks in the middle of the night when we're in deep sleep. But without the proper nutrients in our system, that hormone can't do its job. It's like having a crew of workers ready to build a house at night, but no bricks or tools. The biological signal is there, but the materials are missing, so the repair never gets done. Some older adults believe that eating fruit for dinner is enough. After all, fruit has vitamins and fewer calories. But the problem is that fruit contains natural sugars, and only trace amounts of protein. And muscles can't rebuild on vitamins alone. In fact, a fruit-only dinner can cause blood sugar to rise quickly, then drop in the middle of the night, leaving us tired or foggy in the morning. So if we're skipping protein at dinner night after night, we're not just quietly losing muscle, we're slowly chipping away at our mobility. That might explain why some seniors feel weaker or less steady, even when they don't have a clear medical condition. What's especially tricky is that this doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual and easy to confuse with just getting older. But the truth is, after 60, every gram of muscle we keep becomes more precious. Unlike when we were young, muscle doesn't bounce back as easily. Once it's gone, rebuilding takes longer, and in some cases, it might not fully come back. That's why the smartest thing we can do is prevent muscle loss before it starts. If we've been skipping dinner entirely, now's the perfect time to reconsider. Not to gain weight, but to protect something far more valuable than our muscles. Because they're what help us walk, stay balanced, and stay independent each and every day. Here's the right way to eat dinner. When we think of dinner, many of us picture a plate piled high with rice, meat, fried food, or something quick and heavy. That's why so many people fall into the habit of skipping dinner altogether, thinking it's better for digestion or weight control. But the truth is, we don't need a huge meal or anything complicated. What we really need is smart food choices with just enough fuel to help the body rebuild muscle overnight, without weighing us down or storing excess fat. One of the most important things is to avoid going to bed hungry. When we skip dinner entirely, we're not only missing the raw materials our muscles need to rebuild, but we're also more likely to sleep poorly. That's because hunger can cause our stress hormone cortisol to rise during the night. And higher cortisol levels don't just make sleep restless. They also speed up muscle breakdown. So instead of cutting out dinner, let's talk about how to build a light, balanced meal that helps us rest well and keeps our muscles in good shape. The key is focusing on two things: easy-to-digest protein and slow-digesting carbohydrates. Some gentle sources of protein include boiled eggs, low-fat milk, Greek yogurt, steamed tofu, or a small piece of steamed fish. These foods don't feel heavy, but they still provide the amino acids we need to rebuild muscle while we sleep. On the carbohydrate side, foods like oatmeal, boiled sweet potatoes, or whole grain bread provide steady energy through the night. That helps prevent a sudden drop in blood sugar that could leave us feeling groggy in the morning. Here's a simple meal idea: a small bowl of oatmeal cooked with unsweetened milk, a few slices of ripe banana, and one boiled egg. It's easy on the stomach, but it delivers protein, healthy carbs, and essential minerals. For variety, we could swap that out for a warm vegetable soup with red beans and a slice of rye bread. Timing also matters more than we might think. The best time for dinner is about 2 hours before bedtime. That gives our stomach enough time to digest, so we can sleep comfortably. And if we still feel hungry closer to bedtime, a small snack like a warm glass of milk or a serving of yogurt can help us sleep more soundly while also supporting overnight muscle repair. Here's another trick that often gets overlooked: spreading our protein intake throughout the day instead of cramming it all into lunch. Many people have a habit of eating very little in the morning, loading up at noon, and then skipping dinner. But studies show that for protein to actually trigger muscle-building processes, it needs to be spaced out every 4 to 6 hours. If we skip protein at night, the long stretch from afternoon until morning becomes a gap where the body runs low on fuel. That's when we lose muscle the fastest. And finally, let's not forget the importance of gentle movement during the day. Taking a walk, doing some light stretching, gardening, or climbing stairs creates small wear and tear in the muscles. That's a good thing. It gives the body a reason to repair and grow stronger. But that repair only happens if we follow it up with the right nutrients in the evening. So today, we've taken a closer look at one small habit that has a surprisingly big impact on our daily muscle strength. That habit is skipping dinner, or not eating enough at night, which quietly deprives the body of what it needs to rebuild muscles while we rest. We've also explored what really happens inside our body when we repeat this habit, and why dinner is such a key time for feeding our muscles, not stuffing ourselves, but giving just enough to stay strong. We talked about how a light dinner with easy-to-digest protein like eggs, milk, fish, or oats can make a huge difference. Eating right won't make us feel heavy. On the contrary, it's one of the smartest ways to keep our legs steady, our sleep deeper, and our mornings more energetic. If you found today's topic helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might benefit. Leave a comment if you've had a habit of skipping dinner and are thinking about making a change. We'd love to hear your story. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you more clear, practical health advice made just for older adults. We'll see you in the next video.